Welcome. This is the homework solution for page 169, numbers 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, and 24. Alright, so we're going to start it off. First problem, number 10. It asks us to solve each equation by graphing. Verify your answer algebraically. The question asks, the question is asked really weird. The best thing you could do is just solve the equation, then just graph it. Okay, and we're gonna talk about graphing later, but this is what we're gonna do so far. Okay, so first you have number 10. 0 equals to x minus 5. Okay, first of all, we want to solve it. To solve it, we have to get the variable alone, and we know to do that we have to do the inverse. So the inverse of minus 5 is add 5. Make sure you do that to both sides. Then you have x equals to 5. So once you have x equals to 5, okay, you can sort of graph it, right? So x-intercept here is 5, 0. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Let me just grab this image. Okay. Paste it right here. Make that a little bit bigger. Whoops, sorry. Make that this a little bit bigger. Again. That's bad. Alright, let's see if I can get it this time. Alright, so it says x equals to 5. Let's graph x equals to 5. Where's x equals to 5? Okay. Let me. X equals to 5 is right here, right? And it says x is always equal to 5, right? So that is our vertical line, because in this vertical line, x is always 5, right? So this would be my answer. Okay, that would be my answer here. Okay, whoa, let me drop. Alright, it will look something like this. Okay, there you go. Next one, number 13. Number 13 gets us 3x minus 10 equals to 21 plus 3x. Okay, we have to solve. Right, notice that there's a variable on the left hand side and a variable on the right hand side. Okay, left hand side, right hand side. Okay, let me subtract 3x to both sides to get the variable on one side. Once I subtract 3x, I've noticed that I get negative 10 on my left hand side and 21 on my right hand side. When is negative 10 ever equals to 21? It doesn't, so we would say this is no solution. Once we have no solution, we can't really graph it at that point, so this one I wouldn't be able to graph it. Okay, next one, let's pull up. Okay, let's pull up 16. Alright, 16 has 2x plus 22 equals to 0. Alright, to solve it, we have to get the variable alone. Okay, we have the 2 times x plus 22. Right, which one do we get rid first, the 22 here or the 2? The answer would be the 22 because it is the most outward thing. So subtract 22 to both sides, then you should get 2x equals to negative 22. Okay, um, x is still not alone, right? 2 times x, so what's the inverse of multiplication? It is division, divide by 2. Okay, then x equals to negative 11 because negative 22 divided by 2 is 11. Alright, you could even plug this in a calculator. So, all we have here is x equals to negative 11. So, let's bring up the, okay, let's just bring up the, okay, let's just bring up the image here. Paint. Okay, and we say that x is always equal to negative 11. Where is x always equal to negative 11? It would be right. Ooh, well, this is 10, so 11 would be right here. Alright, so is it negative 11? Yes, it's negative 11. So that's wrong because that's positive 11. This would be negative 11. Ah. Oh, okay. There you go, negative 11. So negative 11 should fall right about here. Okay, because this is negative 10, negative 11 would be right there somewhere. Okay, not the best graph because we only because the graph only shows up to 10, but I think you get the idea. Okay, there you go. All right, let's look at 19. 19 gives us negative 4x minus 28 equals to 3 minus 4. Okay, to solve for x, okay, we see an x on both sides, so we have to simplify it, right? Get it on one side. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. But notice that what I have left is when what I have left is this becomes 0, this becomes 0. So what I have left is a negative 28 equals to 3. When is negative x equal to 3? It never does. So this is a no solution. Once it's a no solution, we can't really graph it, so we leave it that way. Okay. Okay. Next, 22. Let me read you the scenario. Sean is sending text to his friend. The function y equals 160 minus x represents the number of characters y. Okay, so x. So this whole thing represents the number of characters y the message can hold after he has text x characters. So after he has, so this is typed x characters. Okay, and the other one is y is the message can hold, and I can make that blue. Okay, I'm just highlighting some important information. Okay, find the 0 and explain what it means in the context of the situation. Okay, so I wrote y equals to 160 minus x because that is the function. Okay, are we good? This is just grabbing the function in here. Yes, it's not really. It should be like this, right? For it to be really function notation, it should look something like this, okay? But it's just telling that this is a function, okay? I'm not gonna put it into function notation, okay? All right. So to find the 0, we have to set y equals to 0. So let y equals to 0. Let me explain what y equals to 0 mean in the context of the question. Y equals to 0. When and we just typed in wherever the unit is. When there is 0 numbers of characters written, right? So where is it? The function here represents the number of character y can hold, right? So once you type in 0, if you type in 0 characters, okay, let's see what you have. So plug in 0 for y, solving for x, so we have to subtract 160 to both sides. Then you should have simplified to negative 160 equals to negative x. X is not alone because there is still this negative, so we're going to divide by negative 1 to both sides. So you have 160x left. What does x represents? The x represents the message the message can hold characters, okay? So what this means is when, right? So right here, ooh, sorry, that was bad. Here, whoa, right here. Oh, that's okay. So I can even write this scenario. When oh, aha, I wrote it right there. When there is 0 numbers of character written, the message can hold 160 characters. Does that make sense? That would make sense, right? Because if you don't type anything, you have the max amount of characters left, which is 160. Okay? I think you kids might not get this reference, but a long time ago, the text message can only hold a certain amount of characters, right? And if you went over 160, you would if you would had to send another text message, okay? But nowadays that you have smartphones, it really doesn't work that way, okay? Next one, okay? 24. Negative 7 equals to 4x plus 1, okay? We have to get x alone by subtracting 1 to both sides. Once we subtract 1 to both sides, we should have gotten negative 8 equals to 4x, okay? X is not alone yet. We have to divide 4 to both sides. Then we got negative 2 equals to x, okay? That's it. I can't really graph this. I'm going to show how to graph later on when we get to the slope-intercept form, but as of right now, you can just leave it like this. I just want to make sure you're able to solve for each equation, okay? There you go. That is the homework solution.